Hi TCG, Chart Gal Lori here. I have been asked to do a trading review. I had a great day of trading. I worked hard today to control my emotions. It's really hard when you're a trader. You're trying to be disciplined on your bad days, walk around your family. They don't even know you had an off day or that you had a 50% win rate or something like that. Or opposite is true, where you had a great day and all pistons were firing, the market and you were in rhythm. And I also try to control those emotions because those are the emotions that are actually more dangerous. Because tomorrow I don't want to say, oh, look at my gains today, now I'm going to size up, or I'm going to take riskier trades or less than home run setups. So it's just something I'm working on today. Having the best day you've ever had in trading actually scares me because I don't want to go backwards in any way with all the good habits I've been working on. I want to keep moving forward. Don't change position size. Take the same setups that are working. Just keep doing the same thing you've been doing, but actually just be even more protective. So just want to tell you psychologically, I'm working through some things tonight, and this is not my normal video that I do for Chart Guys. So let me check to make sure it's recording. It is recording. It's not my normal video flow that I do, so if I jump around a little bit, so just excuse me. I'm going to go through things that I was looking at throughout the day. So Nat Gas, I really love the weekly falling wedge. Dan has been calling it out. I love to trade commodities, so I've been really focusing on Nat Gas and this falling wedge. And on the daily, I noted on August 29th, I believe, that we got our first TCG bull cross. That was really important to me, and I had a scale of UGAs from this position. I flipped out of that yesterday, so it's actually not in today's gains. I just wanted to show you the larger picture of Nat Gas, and it looks like a daily bull flag, which is what you want to see with this cup and handle pattern. So I felt really strong about Nat Gas today. So now we're going to zoom into the 5-minute. So Nat Gas, I had a position from over here at 2282, and I exited live 2448 or something like that. I posted in yesterday's chat. So I actually went short here. Excuse me, let me back up. No. I went short Nat Gas here because when we're looking at larger time frames, let's look at it on the 15-minute. When it's unable to break that prior high and it makes a lower high, typically that makes a good short, especially for something that's been pretty extended like it was on RSI. So I took the short here, and then I covered before inventory. Inventory hit, and this is where I have to zoom into the small time frames. I actually had an entry at 2389, 0.001 above the bottom. And what I was doing is I was looking at active trader, and I'll show you just a little. Let me see if I can find active trader. So this is something like what I was watching on Active Trader. I don't have the actual live what it was happening. So you could see price being pushed down, and then I saw a bunch of bids show up at 2388, and then I put my bid right above it at 2389, and I got filled. So I stuck with this trade because I like the extreme RSI after a large bull move, and then we got this pop up, lower high, came down, double bottom, lower high, and I stayed with this trade. And I exited this trade, let's say around 2448, because I was worried about this resistance over here of 2453. So I actually got the bottom of the inventory by watching Active Trader, which is one of my new tools that I'm really loving, where I'm seeing what the futures are buying and what they're shorting. And I rode this up, and I'm just guessing here. I'd have to go back to my actual trades to around this area. Okay, and then, all right, stop doing that. Draw our thingamajig. And over here, I went long, and then I flipped out of it for a quick scalp. So with me futures, I went long because it held this bottom of 2428, and then I stopped out at 244, which I thought would be a double top. So I'm really quick to do that. In futures, I can do small flips, especially when my stop loss is 0.001 behind me. It's one of my favorite trades. Oil had inventory 30 minutes later after Nat Gas. I have traded oil long from over here. This was Tuesday, I believe. I went long. I exited in this range. I went long again. I have been really playing a lot of oil and nat gas. Today's major gains came from shorting. So today I shorted, right here. I shorted oil right here in the 57.57 area. So it was right about here when it was unable to break this high that it made on the inventory reaction. And remember, coming into inventory, so here's inventory around, my times aren't matching. I'm trying to do it was 8, it was like right here. This is when inventory was. So RSI was extended. If we look at it on the hourly, it was right here. RSI was extended on many time frames after this major bull run. So when we're like that, then I'm going to look the opposite way. And then I let the order book tell me where are they buying. So here, I went short around 57.57. Escape. Right here on this lower high. I saw that they started shorting it here and the buys had stopped, and then you could look at this same active trader. So I'm just going to pull up my nat gas example. Well, I'll pull up a different one, but it's still nat gas, where I could see that they were selling. So the 40 would be over here and 17 over here. They were selling a lot more contracts than they were buying, and a big volume came in. So I assumed that that would be the top, and I was ready to put my stop loss here at the high of this move at 57.76. And so I shorted oil, and I said out loud with the people I was trading with at the time, I'm in short, this is why. And then I kept verbalizing it, typing it out. I am going to move my stop on every 5-minute lower high. So I started here, and then I would just move my stop to 57.40 right here, 57.25. 56.96. I just moved my stop down and rode this short. When we got here to 56.87, I exited because it also matched up with this fib, and I wanted to get out before the next support. And then I took DWT on the way down. I change instruments based on what account I'm in. That's a convoluted explanation, so I'll save you the trouble. But just to explain on nat gas, I actually did UGAS in 2 accounts. I have accounts for my kids, and then I did futures in my brokerage. So same thing with oil. I'll do futures in my brokerage, and if I'm trading my kids' account or retirement, whatever, then I switch to actual tickers. So this oil trade, nailing the bottom of nat gas and the top of oil, honestly, that's very difficult to do, and active traders making that possible for me, and I'm pretty excited about the possibilities. So with NASDAQ, I made a video yesterday, and I was informing the room NASDAQ is our big bird, it's our canary. Basically, we have to break 7789.50. But before that, we had 7730. I need to get on a higher time frame so y'all can follow along. Here was the 7730. We had to break that. And then the 7789.50 over here. That was the key to break. 7730 would be our early go sign. So they broke the 7730. I entered bullish. I did not ride it back down here. This was happening in the middle of the night. I was asleep. So I sold around here. And for futures, when you're trading from, well, it's 3 p.m. my time, but from the night before, that profit and loss goes on today. So this was calculating my profit and loss. I also bought the dip. I was looking on a lower time frame. Here I bought it at 77.50 is a fib I don't have on this chart, but I was looking at the 77.50, and I bought right around in this area because I felt like we had that fib support and that the bear volume was slowing. Got in, flipped it again, and I didn't flip NASDAQ a lot. I got stopped out on this fake out. It stopped me out of a trade. So, but because I keep my stops small, they weren't able to really cut into my wins today. CGC, excuse me. CGC was able to break yesterday's high early on. That got me bullish. So we broke 25.43 very early. That was clue 1. And then this 25.19 fake out, I live for those. I see this often in futures, and now it's training my eye for regular tickers to watch those fake outs or whomever fake outs where we get a penny and it holds. So I entered around this area. I did have a CGC swing position as well. I entered a day trading position here. We broke this equilibrium bull because, by the way, I like to bottom fish the bottom of EQs. I do not like to buy bull breaks. So I bottom fished the bottom of this EQ, and I probably got in around 25.22 and got in up here. We had this bull break, and then we started pulling back. I started chatting with some members in the room that were curious about getting back in, and I was typing out in the room, be cautious of bear break fake outs, because if you zoom out, this is a bull flag right here. This is a perfect bull flag. And I was typing in the room, be careful, bear break fake outs. How do you know if it's a bear break fake out? If it gets no volume. And I was also looking at this 277, I believe, right here, as a potential support, that if I got stopped out here and this 25.84, I'd let it ride down to 25.77 before I declared it was no longer in a bull flag and got myself out of the trade. So I stayed in this trade. I sold my day trading position at 26.50. I still have a core of CGC, but that was one of my better trades of the day. Tilray, same story. It broke yesterday's high early on. And then in this 15-minute EQ, we did not break the low of day. Perfect entry point for calls. I did Tilray calls. I also did some CGC calls, by the way, on that trade before. It just depends on what account I'm in, what mentality I'm in, and I like to layer things. It's odd, but I will do 3 or 4 day trades, and I'll flip in between commons and calls depending on the pricing, the premium. If I see implied volatility above 60%, I won't touch an option unless I'm selling covered calls. So on Tilray, got in a day trading position, and I held it because of the volume of the day, but these gains were reflected in my account, and it was a really good day. Also, I had a swing position from Tilray that I have been selling covered calls on. So here was one of my best covered call days with Tilray. I'll have to go back and find the support of this 25.52. But anytime Tilray would go sideways, I would enter a position and sell covered calls, like the October 30 calls, the December 35 calls. You'll have to go back and check that math, but I'm pretty sure the implied vol was around 70%. And intraday, I would buy the common, sell the covered calls, collect the premium, and make $700-800 on 400 or 500 shares. And the shares are still sitting there, but I'm just lowering my cost basis and lowering my cost basis. This is the most effective covered call strategy that I've had. But with that, let me be honest with you. Yesterday, I bought common. It went against me. I sold covered calls, and then Tilray started going up, and I sold for a $200 loss. I don't want covered calls when it's going like this. When it's going straight up, I don't want covered calls. I want covered calls when it's doing this sideways stuff. But I'm okay taking a $200 loss here and there. If you're going to do this stuff sideways on a high spread, high implied volatility ticker, I will take covered calls all day, every day. Last trade, I may have had 2 more trades. I apologize. IIPR I lost on today, and then it shot up. That was a mistake I made. So BKNG was a swing for me. So I saw this EQ yesterday. I actually called it out to my trading buddy. We got this EQ. We're finishing up near the high of the day, but not quite. And we got this TCG bull cross. I'm liking how this looks. So I was in a swing for BKNG, and it opened up and it went haywire. And that was a really good swing, not a good exit. I exited around here, around a prior level of resistance, and it continued to shoot up. Am I crying about these gains lost here on a call for BKNG? Heck no. All right, that's the highlight of my 6 good trades. Again, my bad trades were IIPR And my other bad trade was selling BKNG too soon. So I think that's about it. And my goal is to go over covered calls a lot more with y'all and see how we can all improve our selling covered calls skill to decrease cost basis. All right. Thank y'all, and y'all have a good night.